everybody, welcome back to the Craft Beer Hub. This isn't a beer review for you, this is a bit of a clue, this thing. This is a beer unboxing and probably a bit of a chat as to why the beers that are in the box are what they are, if you know what I mean. Beers of Europe, they are near, I say they're near me, they're about an hour and a half away from me, but the same county as me. They're up in Kings Lynn in Norfolk. I live in South Norfolk, that is like way up there. And I've been buying beer from Beers of Europe now for probably on and off, not consistently, not every month, probably 2-3 times a year. I've been buying beer from Beers of Europe now, probably for the best part of 3 to 4 years. I originally bought beer from them because I quite like European beer. I used to like sort of European like blondes and things like that. Then I started buying some of their more crafty stuff, and then the ordering habits have changed a little bit, which we'll discuss in a minute, which has led me to buy the beers that I have in here. Now, I've got my knife. I've not opened this box yet. If I'm being entirely honest with you, I've been kind of building this basket up. So Beers of Europe, if you go on it on your phone, I'm not sponsored to say this, by the way. I wish I was, but I'm not sponsored to say this. But Beers of Europe, if you go on your phone, it will automatically save whatever's in your basket. So certain days I might go, oh, I quite like the sound of that beer, and I'll add like 1 or 2 of them into the basket, and I'll leave it, and then kind of like build a bit of an order up over the space of about a month, which is kind of what I've done here. The last few beers I put on the order were about 4 days ago. And that's when I pulled the trigger on buying it. But yeah, like I say, I've probably been building this up for the best part of a month. Because sometimes I kind of think, oh, I want a couple of them beers, but it doesn't really warrant, because the postage and stuff. I'm not a rich person. By the time you pay £6-7 postage, if you're buying 2 or 3 beers at a time for 6-7 quid per postage, or for postage, it doesn't really work out economical. So I've kind of saved up. Like I say, it's quite a big box. I can't remember what was in here. I think the order, I'll see if it's got an order thing in there. I think the order was about 40 quid. But yeah, like I say, it's a bit of a weird one because I don't know how many bottles are in there, if I'm entirely honest with you, and I can't remember what the hell I clicked on. So let's get it open and see what we get. I've got my my unnecessarily big knife here. Get that bad boy open. Totally random picks, like I say. I haven't opened this box yet, and I don't know what's in there. So totally random picks. And very quickly, if you're not aware already, very quickly you will kind of get the gist of this order and what this order's all about. Right, what have we got in here? Okay, we've got a Beers of Europe leaflet, The Warehouse. There you go. They've recently opened a tap room and bar that I'd love to visit, because I bet they've got some fantastic stuff in there. We have the order sheet. Does it have the prices on there? Probably not. No. Right, let's go in. First one. The Hackerschwur. I think that means Weiss. It's called a Sternweiss. A Dunkelweiss beer. A special, I think the Dunkel Weber Spezialität at the bottom there. I think that means a special Dunkelweiss beer. Hackerschwur, I haven't had much of the Hackerschwur range. To be honest with you, I might have only ever had the Oktoberfest lager. And I love the Oktoberfest lager. So yeah, I was quite interested to try this. I'm going to say it, there's a lot of Weiss beers and lagers in here. Despite being the craft beer hub, I'm going to the original German craft brewers for my beer at the moment. And that's the first one. The second one is a Hackerschwur Hefeweiss. Yeah, why not? A lot of Weiss beers in this order, by the way. Third one is one that I'm really looking forward to. This is the Weißstephaner Hefeweiss Dunkel. So Dunkel is a German word for dark. So this is a dark Weiss beer. So I imagine it's got I'd imagine it's nice and cloudy and wheaty as it should be, with just a little lick of those roasted malts. And obviously, Weißstephaner, oldest brewery in the world, 1040, been brewing for nearly 1,000 years. They're going to know how to brew a good German beer, aren't they? And I have a beautiful Weißstephaner glass that I'll be drinking out of if that review comes around. But I'll be drinking a lot of these casually. A few will make the channel. A few of the interesting ones. Right. Fourth one. The Franziskaner Dunkelweiss beer. I don't really want to do a head-to-head because maybe I'll do a head-to-head, not a head-to-head, but like a comparison. Maybe I'll get a bottle of Franciscana and just drink it next to this. Obviously, Franciscana, probably one of the most widely available. Franciscana Weiss beer, at least, is one of the most recognisable, one of the most accessible Weiss beers in the UK. That is decent quality. There's lots out there that are pretty rubbish. That's a wheat beer from Brewdog. Yeah, pretty rubbish. But yeah, I mean, you can buy the normal Franciscana. You can buy it for as little as, I think it's £1.69. I think in like the discount supermarkets. And if I'm honest with you, it's good. It's just a good beer. It's really, really solid beer. I don't know if there's a better beer with that amount of quality for the money, to be honest, at £1.69. So I'm a massive fan of Franciscana. And I love a Dunkel lager as well. The Erdinger Dunkel was the first one I ever had. And Erdinger aren't like my favourite German brewery, so I'm but I loved the Dunkel lager, so I'm kind of hoping that there's like better Dunkel beers out there. And that's why I've chosen some Dunkel Weisses. What's in here? The Snyder's Bayerisch Hell. That is just, I've had this before. It's just a really, really good, easy drinking Helles. 4.9% as well. Doesn't taste an inch over 4%. This beer. It's clean. It's crisp. It's everything you want out of a Helles. I think it's one of the best Helles around. So yeah, I'll be enjoying that at some point. Right. Okay. This is the first. So Beers of Europe. I've put my faith in Beers of Europe a little bit with this order. And I've bought a lot of those kind of obscure, old, lesser seen Weiss beers from the lesser seen breweries. And this is the first one that I've taken out of the box. It is from Thurn, but I believe it's called Turn and Taris. Where are they from? They are from Regensburg in Germany. And this is their Weiss beer. So I'll tell you why I've done this. Some of you might remember a couple of months ago, I went up to Beers of Europe with Chris's Beer Reviews, John from Lords, and the Crummy Beard. I bought a box. It was a massive box, and it worked out to be about £1 a bottle. And the brewery was called Arkebrau. Arkebrau were from Western Bavaria, and it was a bottle of Hellweiss, which is a slightly lighter. It's not a mix between a Helles and a Weiss beer. It's kind of just got more of that kind of light, malty, bready, slightly sweeter thing that the Helles brings you. And it's kind of like it's a Weiss beer, but it's kind of got like a Helles twist on it. I love those Arkebraus. I probably shouldn't have drunk them as quick as I did, but I did. So I'm kind of thinking I've done well once off buying beer from a really historic old family brewer, which is probably what these guys are. So I've kind of taken the plunge on just getting a few little different ones in there and just kind of not scoping the market out because I'm just drinking it, but kind of having a little look at seeing what some of the smaller breweries do in Germany. And obviously there's the Beers of Europe factor in that I trust them. I do trust them. I think they take their beer really seriously. They're called Beers of Europe for a reason. And if you can't trust that, you can't trust them to put decent German Weiss beer on the shelf, then what can you do? Next one is a Schofferhofer Weissen. If you look at that bottle, look at the scarring around the bottle, the neck and the base of that bottle. This bottle's probably, because I believe they do the bottle return scheme in Germany, or they recycle it in a different way. They're much more hot on not crushing the bottles for recycling, as in like actually renewing, getting the old bottles, sterilising them, refilling them, and relidding them, and off they go. So this bottle's probably been drunk out of by, I don't know, 40, 50 different Germans in Bavaria, and then it ends up with me where I'm just going to put it in the bottle bank. But I do recycle anyway. But yeah, we've got the Schofferhofer Weissen. Their Radlers are super, super popular. I've had the Schofferhofer Cristal, but I haven't had the Schofferhofer normal Weissen. I've had all their Radlers. I've had the grapefruit, pineapple, and the watermelon and mint. They're all fantastic for like 2.8% or 5% or whatever they are. The Cristal, it was a good few years ago I had the Cristal. I can't really remember, but I do remember drinking it, so it probably was half decent if I do remember drinking it. Next one. We have another one of the kind of lesser seen, unknown to me German breweries. This beer is from Monshoff. and it is a Pils, and it is from Bavaria. So if you can't, a German Bavarian Pils, it's gonna be a good beer, isn't it? Kind of old school looking label there with the kind of Hackerschwur style pop top. Kind of a monk brewing it, so maybe it's a monastery, maybe it's a not a Trappist beer, but maybe it's an old sort of monastery, a beer that housed from an old monastery in Germany. Let's go in. What have we got? We have another Montshof beer, but this time I don't remember ordering these. This must have been beers that I ordered a month ago. This is their Helles Lager, another lovely pop top, another monk drinking the beer. It probably is a monastery based brewery, this one. Like I say, a Helles Lager from Bavaria, just like the Pils. What can go wrong? What else have we got in here? We have got now this is a beer. This is one of the beers I was really looking forward to getting my hands on. It's the Helles from Schlenkerla. Now I had the Schlenkerla Metzen or Marzen. It was the first ever smoked beer I had, and if I'm going to be honest, this would have been before COVID. This would have been 2019, and I hated it. It took me straight back, that smoky taste. It took me straight back to when I was a kid, and my mum used to put those. Do you remember you used to get those little sort of smoked, all the continental cheeses in the little Baby Bell style bag? You'd get like a sausagey one, a circular one, a triangular one. It reminded me of eating smoked cheese at school. Since then, my tastes have obviously developed a lot. I've tasted a lot of beers in that time. I've broadened my horizons massively. And now I'm loving smoked beer. One of the best smoked beers I've had, and Tom the Crummy Beard, he was with me at Little Earth Project's campsite a few weeks ago now, and it was the Braybrook Smoked Lager. It was genuinely one of the best beers I've ever had. It was a dark smoked lager as well. It was absolutely lovely. And I've had a couple before that as well. So I was really excited to get my hands on a slightly smoked Helles. If I remember rightly when I read the description, it's a slightly smoked Helles. I love smoked beer now, and I love Helles Lager. You know, it's made by the wizards at Schlenkerla. That should be absolutely cracking. We're going to have to put them somewhere else now. I've kind of got too many here at the moment. The next one is from Kloster Andechs. And it looks like they're a brewery that they started brewing in 1455, so they should know what they're up to. It's their Weissbier Hell, so this is exactly the same style as what the Arkebrau was, and I absolutely love them. Where are they from? Probably Bavaria again, isn't it? It's going to be. Doesn't actually say. Brewed and bottled by... They're in Germany, but it doesn't seem to have their address on there. God knows. It looks like a really old school German brewer anyway. And like I've said a few times in this video now, a brewery that will, you've got to trust them to do what they do best, and they brew Weiss beer fantastically well. But yeah, I'm not sure where... It looks Bavarian. That almost looks like Neuschwanstein, the beautiful castle. It isn't, but it looks like Neuschwanstein, the beautiful castle down in Germany. But yeah, I'm going to guess they're Bavarian. And another German Weiss beer. Come on, there's worse ways to spend your money, isn't there? The next one is another one of these random Bavarian breweries or German breweries. Where are they from? Looks like they're Cheyenne, wherever that might be. Is this the same one? Is this the same brewery? No, Kloster. No, this is Kloster Cheyenne. And a lot of these breweries will call themselves... I don't know what Kloster means. That could mean brewery or brew place. And a lot of the breweries will name themselves after the town or village where they brew. So this probably looks like it is from a town or village called Cheyenne. There you go. Beautiful old school. Kind of got triple Carmelet vibes, this label, isn't it? If you can see it. Beautiful short neck bottle, similar to the Schlenkerla and the Bayerisch Hell. This is another Weiss Hell. Like I say, I can't say for sure, and there's no sort of visual cues on when this brewery formed or what it is. But it's a 5.2% short neck Weissbier Hell. I'm so looking forward to getting into these. Those Arkebrau beers that I mentioned earlier, that kind of unknown to me, that brewery, they were fantastic. So I've really got some faith in a lot of these kind of unknown breweries to me. Have I got any more left? I do. Oh, it's another Weiss Beer Hell from Andex or Andrex, or not the toilet paper. Andex. Is that it? Oh no, there's one or two more in it. Where are you? There we go. There's one. Oh, okay. This is the Hefeweiss beer, a natural Hefeweiss beer from Capuzina. Loads of text on here. This is gonna, Bavaria again. Of course they are. Another beautiful tall 500ml bottle with the pop top. Really old school label. This yet again another monk holding a bottle of Weiss beer with a scroll in his hand. Really old school. This is. Any more information? 5.4%. Loads of German writing. I just cannot read. I can get by on my French. My wife will laugh at me for saying that, but I can just about get by on French. German, I haven't got a hope in hell. Right, we must be coming to the end of these beers now. I've got loads, more than I thought I ordered, but quite a lot considering the amount of money I spent. There must be one more in here, I believe. There we go. Hofbrau Münchner Weiss. Hofbrau, one of my favourite German breweries. The Hofbrau Original Lager, to my mind, it can't be beaten in terms of what I've tried so far. I'm sure there probably is better lagers out there, but in terms of some of the best lager I've ever had, the Hofbrau Original is easily up there, and it's mental that you can get it so widely available in the UK. So I haven't had this one yet, so I thought, sod it, I'm gonna get a Hofbrau Weiss beer, and it's their Münchner Weiss, 5.1%. They're from Bavaria. Hofbrau, one of the big breweries. I think it's the Big Six or the Big Five. I think it's the Big Six that brew beer for the Oktoberfest officially. Absolutely love Hofbrau beers. That should be mint. I think that might be it. That is it. There we go. So how many beers? I think this cost me, like I say, around about 38 quid. I think I'd cashed in a couple of quid. I cashed in a couple of quid for. I'm just going to find out on my app how much all this cost me. I cashed in a couple of quid of loyalty points. It was like literally like 2 quid worth of loyalty points. But it. Oh, 49.50. 49.50. But for that money, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 beers. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15 beers for 49 odd quid delivered. Should have been around about 50 quid delivered because I cashed in some loyalty points that I had. That is not bad, is it? They probably worked out on average a shade less than £3 a beer, maybe around about £3 a beer. Do the maths. If you want to, plus postage. I don't think that's really bad. I believe it was brought to my attention that you can get really good beer for quite a good price at Trembling Madness, so it might be worth looking there. But when I had a look at Trembling Madness's website in terms of German stuff, after someone told me on a live recently, they didn't have a selection of this. They kind of had a lot of the good stuff. They had the Ayinger. They're kind of all like the big stuff, but I didn't see a lot of like the smaller stuff. I could be wrong. But yeah, for me, Beers of Europe, I'm lucky because they're relatively local to me. They get beer to you within 48 hours, and it's not a bad price at all. Boom, there you go. I've got a lot of beer to get through now. Yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. In terms of drinking habits, we talked about it. We've talked about it a million times. The reason I've gone for these beers is I'm really into my German stuff at the moment. All of these beers are German. For a few different styles, from Dunkelweisses to Helles lagers to smoked Helles and stuff. I'm really into it, and I'm kind of ready to discover that side of things now and get my head into some different breweries. And yeah, because to be honest with you, I'm still a bit hopped out. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. What are you drinking at the moment? It's probably going to be, I'm kind of like an average Joe. I'd imagine if I'm drinking it, everybody else is. I'm kind of like one of them, or, you know, if everybody else is drinking it, I do as well. I'm kind of one of them guys. But yeah, let me know what you're drinking. What's changing your habits? Like I say, I've kind of ditched the pales. I've ditched the pales and IPAs and the sweet stouts and whatever else. I'm kind of really into my German stuff at the moment. And yeah. I'm liking where that's leading me. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you'd be so kind. Like and subscribe if you'd be so kind. I will see you on the next one. Cheers.